Veterans Day originated as Armistice Day on November 11, 1919, the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Congress passed a resolution in 1926 for an annual observance, and November 11th became a national holiday beginning in 1938. Veterans Day is not to be confused with Memorial Day. Memorial Day is the fourth Monday in May and honors American service members who died in service to their country or as a result of injuries incurred during battle, while Veterans Day pays tribute to all American veterans, living or deceased, but especially gives thanks to living veterans who served their country honorably during war or peacetime.
This Veterans Day, I'm going to be honoring my great-grandfather, Robert Pennington. He was in the Navy Air Corps and served in World War II. He graduated from KU with a law degree and was a city attorney, a judge, and owned his own law practice.
My grandpa was a pilot instructor in the Korean War. He served from 1954 to 1957, and he earned the rank Airman Second Class.
The brave men and women who serve and protect the United States come from all walks of life. They are parents, children, and grandparents.
My grandfather, Ron Finn, was a lieutenant in the Army Air Corps. He trained pilots to fly P-51 Mustangs during World War II. As a result of his service, he was able to attend college and medical school on the GI Bill.
They are friends, neighbors, and co-workers.
I'm talking about my grandpa, who served in the Air Force during World War II, overseas and mostly Europe, and he was a navigator on lots of different planes. And also, my uncle was a pilot for medical helicopters in Vietnam War.
And they are an important fabric of their community.
If there was one thing I could say to my grandpa and uncle, I'd definitely tell them thank you for protecting and serving the United States.
It makes me proud to know that my grandfather, even though I never met him, was brave enough to even be involved in World War II.
To me, Veterans Day celebrates America's liberty. It is a time to celebrate our country's freedom and a time to thank fellow Marines, sailors, soldiers, airmen, and coasties for their sacrifices for our country. This country and its citizens are worth it.
My cousin served in Afghanistan. She found a stray dog once, and there was never an animal that she didn't like, and there was never an animal that didn't like her. It's pretty cute. My cousin JJ served in the National Guard, and when I was about 18 months old, I helped make a mural with my parents for him for his birthday. He was turning 21. And then my grandpa served in the infantry for the war in Korea. He didn't want to marry my grandmother until he came back because he wasn't sure he was going to come back. And this is the photo of them saying goodbye.
Hi, we're gonna tell you about our grandpa, James Higgins.
He's a veteran.
He served in the United States Army Reserves from 1950 to 1975.
He made many lasting friends, but never saw combat. My grandpa does not like peeling potatoes because he peeled a lot of potatoes in the KP that stands for Kitchen Patrol.
We think it's really cool that our grandpa got to serve the country, got to go to army bases and stuff like that, and we think it's really cool that he was able to do that.
My grandpa on my mother's side, Dwayne McIntyre, was in the Air Force. He went into training right after high school, where he first flew the T-34 and moved along to the T-38 and T-33. He then was enlisted as a second lieutenant and then went through the rankings as first lieutenant, captain, and then ended up retiring as a major.
This is a picture of the aircraft carrier, the USS Oriskany. In this picture, the ship is headed to Vietnam to evacuate the civilians before the start of the war.
This picture is really special to us because our granddad was on the ship when the picture was taken. We never got to meet him, so this is really special to us, and he was a radar man.
This is our grandfather, Pops, and he served in the Korean War and in World War II, and he was in the Army.
This is the Legion of Merit Award. This is the Meritorious Service Medal.
My grandpa was a colonel in the Army. He helped fight polio, and then during his funeral there was 21 gunshots, the folding of the flag, and he earned another medal.
I love Pops.
To all veterans, both past and present, we salute you.
Thank you to veterans everywhere.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans.
I would like to say thank you to veterans everywhere.
Thank you for serving in the Army. This means a lot to us.
Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, veterans everywhere.